Hey, Dan here, and if you are an aspiring freelancer, coach, or consultant, then this video is for you because I do not want you to make the same mistakes I see over and over again. And in this video, you will learn what not to spend your money on when you are starting a new business. Now, if you're new to the channel, my name is Dan, and my mission here at Dreams Around the World is to help you become the best version of yourself, all while making an awesome life for you and those you love, so do consider subscribing. Now, I have been working with freelancers, coaches, and consultants for about 6 years now, both as a one-on-one coach and a leader in the free freelancer coaching and training program. And I see these mistakes come up, and they often actually cost people their dreams, their possibility of doing that thing they really love. So I want to cover those here. Number one, expensive branding. If you are just starting out and spend more than $100 on your branding, you are probably flushing money down the toilet. Now, there's some exceptions to this. If you're coming from the corporate world with $1 million in your bank and you already have a following and network and blah, blah, blah. But for most people, this is a big mistake. I learned this the hard way when I started one of my first businesses back, 8-10 years ago, and I spent $1,000 on a logo I didn't even like. Not a good way to start off a business, especially if you are in debt like I was. Now, the thing is, really, when you're starting out, branding is not going to win you over 1,000 new clients, or probably even one new client. The things that are going to get you clients are things like taking action, networking, reaching out to people, putting stuff up on social media strategically, not just like what you had for breakfast. That might get you clients. Your branding will not. But here's the big thing. When you're starting out, you don't know who the hell you are. You don't know who your audience is. You might guess. You might say, hey, I'm going to be the therapeutic, love, sad coach for cats who have been abandoned during their third year of pregnancy. That might be the niche that you think you're going to do. And you might dive into it and you might stick to it, but the odds are, from my own experience, that you're probably going to change direction within your first year. And that's totally okay. In fact, I advise most of my freelancers to start off a bit broad and get a sense of who they enjoy working with, who they can give the most value to, and who are the actual ideal clients over 6 months or a year of experience working with people. And then niche down, then brand, and then really pay someone, if you want, to develop some really good branding for you. Besides, there are so many tools now that can help with basic branding, things like Canva is an easy graphic designer, for example, that if you're just starting out, it's probably not worth paying the big bucks for a branding consultant. Once you know where you want to focus, branding consultants and designers are extremely valuable. So I'm not dismissing them as people you want to work with, but I'm saying early on, it's money you probably shouldn't be spending. Next up is a complicated website. When you are just starting out, again, you're going to change your focus a little bit. Maybe you totally change, but more likely you'll just shift a little bit in that. You're going to learn a lot about yourself. You're going to be getting testimonials, building a portfolio if that's what you want to do, and all this sort of stuff during that first year. So when you're starting out, don't build some expensive website that's going to be overly complicated, that's going to take 6 months. Listen, if I was starting out, and this is pretty much actually what I even still have now, I would build a basic WordPress site, have like homepage, about page, services, contact me. Boom, that's done. And the contact me page can be a basic form to set up a free consultation. That's it. There's no need to go over the top to spend thousands of dollars, and worse than the thousands of dollars is the delay it will take to make a complicated site. Get something that is based on a good-looking theme, so it's quick, it's easy, it's crisp or simple or minimalistic, whatever your design preference is, but get it up there. There's no reason a basic website for a service provider should take more than a week. Get it up there, boom, now work with clients. Now, one reason that so many people spend a lot of time on their branding and on their website, and I hate to psychoanalyze you here, but this is what I've seen and what I've done as well myself, is fear of really facing the fire, fear of starting out and potentially being rejected. When you're starting out, it's really exciting. Like, hey, I'm going to become a coach. This is going to be great. Oh, what if people don't like my coaching? What if people say no to me? What if this doesn't work? Whoa. I don't want to deal with that now. Let's go back. Let's make a website. Let's design branding stuff. Let's work on our portfolio. I don't even know how a coach would have a portfolio, but damn it, that's what I'm going to work on. Because that is safe. No one can reject me when I'm paying them to make my website. No one can say no to my services. So I'm going to work on my website. I'm going to work on my branding. But I'm never going to ask someone if they actually want to work with me, because that could be scary. Now listen, I'm not trying to mock here because I'm literally talking to myself many years ago. So don't feel like this is an attack. This is something I just see a ton, and that's why I want to make it a bit of a joke to show you the pattern that you may, I don't know you, we're just, YouTube friends, hopefully YouTuber and subscriber friends by this point. So I don't know you, but this is a pattern I see and see. And if you do catch yourself doing this, I want you to be aware of it. And maybe you say, you know what, it is fear. And I'm still going to just do my website first, fine, but at least you know about the unconscious patterns that are shaping your strategic business decisions. And generally, when fear and our unconscious are shaping our business strategies, it's not a great thing. Speaking of fear, there is another expense, a big expense that you should not be spending any money on when you are starting out, and that is ridiculously expensive training. The most common place I see this is coaches. Often coaches who have a lot of technical industry experience, like maybe they were a therapist, a counselor, or a psychologist already, and they want to move to coaching. But you also see this with designers, copywriters, people all over the map, is they spend a ton of money. I'm talking $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 on technical training before starting out and getting clients. And this is really dangerous. One, because you might spend a bunch of money for training that almost always does not teach you how to actually get clients and build a business. The biggest complaint I hear from coaches about coaching training where you learn the techniques is they don't learn anything about building a business. That's why they come and hire me, is I actually want clients and I want to do this, not just, intellectually masturbate about all these coaching techniques I've learned. And the thing is I think when you're starting a business, the best thing to do is get clients early on, right away. And these are some of the strategies that I covered, I think I've even covered on this channel, is like get clients from the very beginning, charge less, have a simple service, but start working with people, get experience, get momentum, get excitement, and then you can keep furthering your education and get better and better. But you'll do that a lot quicker when you have real world experience, when you're actually working with clients. So let me give you a real world example of what that could look like, something that one of my subscribers actually did, and they wanted to become a health coach. They were studying health and nutrition. They were not done their degree. They were still in school for it. Definitely not ready according to most academic standards, but they did not want an academic average life. So they took action. What they did is they came up with a simple 12-week coaching program, something that would benefit the average person. Because the truth is, when it comes to health and nutrition, the average person probably knows this much. And someone who's already 2 or 3 years into a health and nutrition degree probably knows like this much and can provide a ton of value. And they're not saying they're going to work with people with extreme cases and super challenges and everything else, but be able over 12 weeks to provide a lot of value and a foundation for better health. And that's what they did. They came up with basically 12 weeks. Here's what we do each week. They put this up on Facebook and they sold it out immediately and had a waiting list for the second package. That's pretty cool. And then guess what? As they're going through their education, they can be applying it all. I think back I did a psychology degree myself. And psychology was an interesting one because you could apply it kind of day to day, like with dating or with promotion of parties you were doing or things like that. But how much more would I take out of those classes if I did my psychology degree today and I could think about the clients I'm working with and my own life experiences and everything else? So whatever training you're going to do, if you're already working with people, you're going to be like learning so much quicker. You're going to be taking so much more away from your training. And yes, this probably isn't something that coaching schools or design schools want to promote. They don't want to say, hey, you could go out right now and start earning money and then gradually improve yourself and build a really thriving business, because most of what decides a successful freelancer or coach is actually more like their strategy, their business, their marketing, not their technical skills, because guess what? That will probably lower the enrollment rates for their programs. They're going to have a lot more success saying, hey, unless you have 10 certifications and 500 hours of education, you should never, ever consider helping anyone because you are totally useless. $10,000, please. That's a lot better marketing approach for them, right? And number 3 is any large repeating expenses that you're obligated to. I'm talking something that's between like $500 plus a month. Even let's say $300 a month. Of course, it depends where you live and your income potential and all that. But something that you're going to be on the hook for that is usually like software expenses or things like this. There's different website building tools you can get, things that cost $100, $200 a month. And yeah, they might make things easier, but then you have that fixed expense forever. Like you set up your website and you have all these cool features. Maybe you're using something like a HubSpot and you think, you know what, I'm really serious about business, so I'm going to start with a premium service and just start at the top. But the reality is it's actually going to be years before you tap into the potential of something higher end like that. So you're just wasting money and draining your monthly cash flow. Could be other things. Like I even try to minimize things like my ongoing phone expense and that sort of thing. Now there are times to invest where it's going to make a lot of sense. So I'm not saying to be cheap across the board. I'll give you an example. The web host I use is like $15 a month, up from $5 a month or whatever I had before. And the big thing I get from it, aside from maybe a bit more speed and stuff like that, is good tech support. And I've realized like when I have a problem with my website, that if I have terrible tech support being outsourced somewhere by someone who doesn't care about me, it's extremely frustrating and I end up like ruining 2 hours of my day. That's a lot more expensive to me than paying an extra $10 a month for a really great company. I use Flywheel, by the way, if you're curious. So don't be cheap across the board. Don't hold off and invest in nothing, but be really careful about large expenses, whether that is upfront things like $5,000, $10,000 training programs that aren't even necessarily going to get you your first clients. So you're going to do a $10,000 training and you don't even necessarily get clients to start paying that money back. Or ongoing fixed expenses you're going to be stuck with kind of forever. So this is usually like software platforms or I don't know what else, but things like that where you have to keep, like once you set up on them, you can't really get rid of them. Don't do that early. This is the time in the video I need to ask you to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there. I publish new videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, 6 a.m. Eastern time, and we cover a lot on building a location-independent freelance or coaching business, on personality types, and all-around personal development. You're gonna love it. Subscribe, let's be friends. Hit that button and catch you in the next video soon. Thanks for watching.